And hello, I'm back for another video to show how to play this blue-green version of my deck. Keeping it simple, just showing a couple of turns, probably go to maybe turn 7 or 8 until I hit a combo, whichever comes first. How to play this deck, what one should do during early turns just to show its win conditions and whatnot. So let's get right to it. So opening hand, it's very keepable, maybe a little heavy on the land with 5, but we see opening ramp right here and a card draw payoff right here. So solid. No, really don't really want anything else. I guess interaction would be good against maybe a high profile commander like Zur the Enchanter or Kalia, but maybe I would take a mulligan against that, but I would take the risk here actually, especially on the play. But let's go ahead. So we'll draw. Recurring Insight's not ideal, but we'll take it. Just redundancy, a card draw, search for Rhymewood Falls. If I can actually type. Extra high, sorry. Rhymewood Falls and play tap. Usually the turn 1 unless we have some 1-mana cantrip or something like that. Very simple. Let's go to turn 2. Ancient Tomb is an amazing draw. Basically ramp twice in 1 turn. We'll gladly take the life loss to ramp early. So we'll go for this Kodama's Reach. So on surface, it doesn't look like we'll have a chance to take advantage of the 5 mana immediately, but we'd rather have it not needed than needed and not have it. So we'll go ahead and play this out early. We'll go ahead and get an island in the forest. Don't really need to play around Blood Moon with this hand, especially after that resolve. 2 4s should be fine. That's Bane of Progress. And 2 blue will cast most spells. A few triple blues here and there, but nothing really worth worrying about. Shuffle. Our next turn, turn 3. Sakashima, solid draw. So since we're not planning to use all of our mana this turn, we'll go ahead and play this Burning Pool tapped. And we'll go ahead and play Thrasios here. A bit unfortunate that we didn't use all the mana from the Kodama's Reach from the previous turn, but we're still getting the lands out, making sure we hit land drops for next turn, so we should be fine. And on the play versus a typical like Kali or Zur deck, we would be okay, or at least from Kali and from instant death. We could Kodama next turn because we would have 6 mana and have a reach blocker, or with the draw of Sakashima the Kali and have a blocker, so we wouldn't instantly die. All right, we'll go to next turn. Probably shouldn't delve too much into matchup specifics, just trying to show this playtest. All right, so with this draw, Brainstorm is fine, but what we're going to go for here is high upside play. So we've ramped twice, so on turn 4, we're going to put Kodama onto the field. So next turn, assuming we aren't disrupted, and we'll swing for 1. Assuming we aren't disrupted, we'll go for Sakashima the Imposter. Or we could go for Zagana. And actually, we would go for Zagana first because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We play Zagana, and then that would allow us to gate in a Kodama. And then after that, we can play a land and then chain every land out of our hand. Actually, so it depends. If people had counter magic up, or at least interaction mana that you could see, I would go for Zagana to gate in Sakashima. If everyone was tapped out, I would go for Sakashima to gate into the Zagana because that starts a chain. That starts a chain at 6 after we draw from Zagana, and then we can chain everything out. But we'll go for the high upside play because generally this early people in this power level are holding up interaction. So we'll go to the next turn. So Steve's fine, but we would, as I said, we would just go for it here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Take 2. There's even argument actually here. We'll brainstorm, see if we can find a counter spell. Very likely. 1, 2, 3. All right, no luck this time. We could try to dig for something free too, but no, we're not gonna dig that hard. Let's not get too crazy for this. Okay, we'll put those back, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, I'm ridiculous. So that's a huge misplay. So now we can't go for Zagana. We definitely can't go back since we saw cards. So we'll do I guess we're doing the secondary route I said. So we'll do. Oh, well, sorry, that's not even secondary route. We're doing the primary route. So we're just jamming the Sakashima. Sorry, goofed here, but it is what it is. But either way, this probably would fly. So Sakashima the Kodama. That would give us a Kodama for 6. We go with Zagana. Zagana would give us a Kodama for 6. She would come in. And of course, we stack Kodama triggers under Zagana. So we would draw, 6 counters. We would draw 7 cards before resolving this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we could just keep the game going, the train going. So this will probably end up in a win, but let's just see what happens. So we're on a Kodama for 6. Let's go ahead and do this Regal Behemoth to become the Monarch. That's fine. And then we're still on 6. We'll go for this Con Sphinx. So no further permanents at 6 mana. So we will just throw out the rest of our lands and Sakura Tropical, of course. Southeast lands. Okay, so we have options here. So depending on cards in hand, if opponents still had like 4+ cards in hands, I would go for the Recurring Insight. If not, we can go for either the Inspired Sphinx or Seagate Restoration to try to see more cards and keep this chain going. But right here, we'll float a green and go for this Preordain, see what we're working with. Ooh, turn is perfect. Okay, so it's probably gonna seal this game up. So let's go. So green floating, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go for Temporal Manipulation. That's fine. And then after that, we'll play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go for a Recurring Insight targeting an opponent. As I said in this stage of the game, 4 cards or more. That's not a. Let's see. So if you play 1 spell per turn, let's resolve this Recurring Insight for 3. It shouldn't matter, but we'll just go for 3. So 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, did I miscount? Yeah, we had that 1, 2, 3. And here we can go ahead and sack the Sakura Tribe Elder. Get an island. If I can find one. Tap. Get another Kodama. Throw out this. You have a attack here. We'll go to extra time. We'll draw a card for being the Monarch. And this will lead to our untap. And we'll draw here. Okay, so what to do here? We could go for a huge finale. Keep chaining our permanents. We can really finish this off however we so choose. I think the safest play would be, let's see. I would go with the Inspired Sphinx first because we have all the mana in the world to finale after we do that. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll float a blue here. And again, for those that don't know, Regal Behemoth's triggered ability. Whenever you tap a land for mana while you're the Monarch, add 1 mana of any color. It effectively doubles your land mana and fixes it so this forest can tap for green blue. So I usually won't say which color I'm tapping it for. I'll just say what I'm floating afterwards. So we'll have a blue floating. We'll go for the Inspired Sphinx. We'll draw 3. And again, now we'll have start a Kodama chain. We'll have a Kodama for, we'll chain out everything. Kodama for 7. We'll go with the Sphinx of Athun. I'll put these dudes back here because we're holding a Shia. It might matter. It may matter for mana generations purposes. These dudes can tap. These guys can't. Okay, so we'll go with the Sphinx. We'll do the Factor Fiction above the Kodamas. Okay, opponents could in the blind matchup they may put the Ponder by itself because they think we're still digging, which we are, but clearly we have all the draw we need. So we'll just take the pile that's the best split here would actually be Kogla by himself because I could combo with Eternal Witness if we find it. So we would take the Kogla. Okay, we're still at 6. We'll go for the Nezahal. We are at, we're done with 7 CMC, so we'll go down. We'll put in the Kogla. Then we'll go with the Ashaya. And then we will go with the Forest. We still have not made any land drops. All right, while we're here, we still have some Forest in the deck. We have 1 floating. Let's go ahead and cast this Nissa's Pilgrimage with, let's see, 1, 2, yes, with the Spell Mastery. So let's get some Force. This is a great test. It really shows, like, even without a Soul Ring, we only have 2 Force. Exactly what this deck is trying to do, just force the issue and create so much value that it's virtually impossible for our opponents to keep up. All right, so we get those 2 Force. And then right here, we will go for, there is the Time Spiral option right here, Time Spiral Consecrated Sphinx with a full pot of 4 people that draws us up to 49 cards. But if we gotten this far, there's really no reason to take that risk. We'll just go with the finale. So we'll go 1, 2. And again, since Ashaya is now out, all these creatures can tap for mana if we so choose. Thrasios, we probably do that with Thrasios here. So 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have mana for days, so we'll go 11, 12, 13, 14. So we'll do a finale. X is 14. Shuffle all this in. Shuffle. Draw 14. We'll go to 17 cards. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, all right, and we drew into the combo. So we have a Kogla right here. We have an Eternal Witness. We have a turn spell. So we'll keep this simple and in this game. So we'll see, float a blue. Just cast a Soul Ring, and again, we will be able to chain out every land in our hand. Optimally, if we did not have the combo in hand, we would want AC in play. We would hardcast, actually Ulamog. Yeah, hardcast Ulamog and then chain all these permanents out, so AC would draw. But we have what we need in hand, so no need to dig any further. Notable that this Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, turns every land into a forest in addition to its other types, allowing the fetch lands to tap for mana. Very useful when we get to late game and start running out of fetchables, which is an issue you might have with Kodama. So we did that. That was Excuse me, sorry, we're floating 1 mana, so we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5. Cast the capture right here, and then might as well go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Throw in this Ulamog, go for Kodama, chain up whatever we want. It will be included at the end of that, and I will bring back this capture. And here's a loop. We have Kogla, 1 on a green, return target human to your hand, gains indestructible to end a turn. We can use that, so if we have an extra turn, we can bounce it even now or next turn. We can bounce the Eternal Witness, replay it, get the extra turn spell. I'm sorry. We can play the extra turn, bounce the E-Witness, replay it, gets an extra turn spell, repeat indefinitely, and clearly we have a massive board to take out anybody. In the situation that somebody has a board and you can't, or they have like actual blockers that you need to worry about, Ulamog probably mills them out, but if you can't do that with this Finale, we can, see, make sure I'm not missing anything. No. We can Finale for Spellseeker to go get Cyclonic Rift. And in the event that someone is phased out with Teferi's Protection, the plan is to establish infinite turns, hit them with Ulamog over and over until they have no library, and then simply pass turn. And they should lose the game from drawing to an empty library. In this process, of course, we can load up on counterspell so that they can't really resolve anything relevant when we get around to their turn. Alternatively, if they have no graveyard, actually, even if they do have a graveyard, you can mill them out, and then in the midst of the extra turn loop, cast Time Spiral to shuffle their graveyard and hand back in. You draw all your cards, and then keep Ulamogging them. And if you already exiled their deck, put the graveyard back in and exile it again. There's extremely few draws that could, or extremely few hands that could get them out of that situation. So you can virtually kill anyone in any situation with the main combo in this deck, and if you have access to Ulamog and all of your resources. But there you have it. That's a pretty simple playtest. Really, again, showcased exactly what the deck wanted to do. It ramped virtually twice on turn 2, the Ancient Tomb into the Kodama's reach, put out a very problematic permanent in Kodama, and then really just went off to the races on turn 5 with the Sakushima Kodama into a Prime Speaker Zagana. All right, so there you have it. A really fun deck if you just want to keep putting out threats from forcing answers from the opponent while also being able to interact on your own. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I'll make more of these in the future.